Philadelphia's stunning offensive coordinator hire is looking better by the hour, as the changes Sean Mannion is about to bring to the Eagles are going to look night and day different from Ken Patullo this past season. Plus, why Howie just made a second offensive hiring that could have major implications not only on the passing attack, but the future of A.J. Brown. Oh, and somewhere, Jalen Hurts is smiling because I think he's about to revert to his 2022 self. Thomas Mott, this is the Thomas Mott Show. Now by now, I'm sure you've heard, but Philadelphia has finally hired their new offensive coordinator. While the reactions are pouring in from Eagles Nation, and they all seem overwhelmingly positive, I think a ton of people are missing the main point as to why Philadelphia chose an extremely experienced but promising offensive coordinator. One, the reviews from NFL circles on this guy are better than even I realized. And two, the Eagles are not done making some serious changes on offense this morning, as Howie Roseman has already struck again. First, though, we did hit 70,000 views on the previous video, and so the winner of the Jordan Spector Art Devontae Smith card announced at the end of today's video. Stay tuned to see that. I'm also going to give another one of these away on this video if it also hits 70,000 views, so drop a like once you go and be subscribed, and comment down below your thoughts on hiring Sean Mannion. Now, of course, by now you know Mannion's backstory. I'm not going to bore you with all the details of his illustrious backup quarterback history, which is crazy to say, but he did come out of the Jameis Winston, Marcus Mariota draft all those years ago, but also has only thrown one career touchdown in his entire tenure in the NFL. Obviously, though, Philadelphia did not hire Sean Mannion because he was a great NFL quarterback. They hired him for two main reasons. One, who he's worked under during his NFL career and most recently, and two, how impressive he was in that in-person interview. It's true, Mannion did learn under the big offensive minds. You've seen this: Sean McVay, Clint Kubiak, Kevin Stefanski, and Kevin O'Connell. But he also learned under some great quarterbacks as well, like Jared Goff, Kirk Cousins, and Jordan Love. And also, we forget this, our own Nick Foles back in 2015. And Foles, of all people, yesterday went on his podcast and raved about Mannion's photographic memory, his ability to recall almost anything in the NFL.
So you have a little bit of history with him.
I do. He, very impressive rookie. One of the more impressive rookies I've ever been around. You could tell right away with his work ethic, his knowledge of football at that point. And honestly, he always, I don't know if he liked it when I said it, but it seemed like he had a photographic memory with his ability just to recall things. Either that or he just constantly was, studying, prepping, flashcards, whatever it may be. But you could tell he was really diligent, and then, got into the coaching world the last couple of years. And you knew he'd always be a guy that would climb the ladder, but I feel like he's climbing it quicker than I thought. And with the Philadelphia Eagles, which we just did a podcast earlier today, talking about who they should go with. So a unique hire.
But of course, it takes more than just a photographic memory to get Sean Mannion an offensive coordinator job. It's what he's actually been able to do to get to this point the past 3 seasons in Green Bay that I think completely blew the Eagles' socks off in those interviews.
He's been awesome. He's got a bright future in this profession. He attacks it the same way I knew he would when he was a player. Just extreme ownership of everything. Puts in the extra time, just goes above and beyond the Call of Duty, which is exactly what you want from your assistant coaches.
We forget the Eagles started their coaching search 3 weeks ago, publicly saying they wanted an experienced NFL play caller. And yet the fact that a very green offensive coach with zero play calling experience was able to wow the birds in those interviews says way more than anyone realizes. But naturally, the detractors this morning have clearly come out and say, well, Thomas, he's never actually called plays. Do we know if he's a great play caller? What's his offense going to look like? And technically, actually, he has called plays. Mannion was the offensive coordinator this past week calling plays at the East-West Shrine game, where Bucky Brooks mentioned he was impressed with Mannion's, quote, ability to prepare his quarterback, and the unit stood out even more. As a former player, he has an excellent feel for the game and for making complex schemes easily digestible for players. That's huge. But we also do have game footage from the offensive plays he called this week at the Shrine Bowl, and tell me if these dumbed-down plays, because it is the East-West Shrine Bowl, look way more dynamic already than anything Ken Patullo produced in 2025. Can you say under center play action pass anybody? Plus, just go watch the Green Bay Packer offense the past 2 seasons. Obviously, he's not calling the plays, but Mannion had a massive hand as the quarterback coach. This is what we should expect from the Eagles in 2025. Also, I want to give a massive shout out to the sponsor of this video, SeatGeek, which of course, I know, it's depressing right now. The Eagles do not have another playoff game, and so you can't go buy SeatGeek playoff tickets right now for the Philadelphia Eagles. But if you want tickets to the big game in February, or better yet, other Philadelphia sporting events, SeatGeek is 100% your place to go. And of course, if you're watching right now, anybody can use my code MOTT10 and get 10% off any of those tickets when you purchase with SeatGeek. And the best part is, my code works whether you're a new customer or not. And so, of course, plenty of ticket options. You can go Phillies, you can go Flyers, you can go 76ers. You can also go non-sporting events as well. Take the wife to a comedy show, to a concert. SeatGeek has over 75,000 listed events. And as usual, use their SeatGeek rating scale from 1 to 10 to find the best deals on all of your ticketing options. Look for the green dot. It's that simple. Green is good. Yellow, not so good. Red, they're probably a little too expensive. And getting tickets and using my code, super simple, especially on the SeatGeek app. So download the SeatGeek app, add my promo code MOTT10 to your account, and it will automatically add the 10% off whenever you buy tickets. It's all linked down below. Download the app, use SeatGeek, use my code, tell them I sent you, and I know, Eagle tickets, you can't get them right now. Get them in the future, but get the other non-Eagle event tickets today. I mean, can I interest you in a Jordan Love passing chart from this year, which includes, wait for it, actual throws across the middle of the field? Look at that. Or how about the Packers literally calling half the number of those hated hitch routes the Eagles called in 2025? Oh, and route trees? Well, look at Romeo Doubs. This route tree right here would instantly turn Devontae Smith from an elite NFL receiver to a guy who would be an absolute menace to every single defense week after week after week. So just because we haven't seen Sean Mannion call plays at an NFL level doesn't mean we don't know what the offense is actually going to look like and what he's actually bringing to the table. All that aside, though, here's the real kicker and why I think Mannion was hired. His history with quarterbacks is downright impressive. In order for the Eagles to take that next step, Mannion must work to resurface the Jalen Hurts from 2022. Because the media loves to forget that 2022 Hurts was absolutely dynamic running, but also throwing the football and technically could have won MVP. He was dicing up defenses all over the field. He definitely has it in him to do this again. I think he's been handcuffed the past 2 seasons. Yes, somewhat in 2024 because Saquon Barkley was absolutely fantastic. But even in 2025, they clearly were not using all of Jalen Hurts' skills. And just watching what, say, Sean Mannion did as the Packer quarterback coach with not just Jordan Love, but how about Malik Willis in a couple of starts last season? Malik Willis looked like a night and day different quarterback, running with the football, throwing from the pocket. This is the dynamic type of offense and really quarterback play Philadelphia is looking for.
Yeah, I think it's ownership of our progressions and timing and reading with our feet, and then just the fundamentals of the position. So to me, it really starts with footwork, and that's something that all quarterbacks need to focus on. But, I know really when I first was exposed, it was with Matt in LA in 2017, and it was really a kind of foundational moment in my playing career. I got so much better from understanding how the footwork helps your accuracy, it helps your decision making, helps the timing of the play. So that's really kind of the starting point of what really with any quarterback, but Jordan in particular.
Philadelphia needed an offensive coordinator to not just work around Jalen Hurts' strengths and, try to make an offense that was Jalen Hurts friendly. They need to make Jalen Hurts into an even better quarterback. They need to go ahead and improve on those strengths. Throwing from the pocket, throwing across the middle, play action pass. It's one thing to just sit back and go, Jalen, we don't want to pressure you. We do what you do best. We'll just kind of stick with that. It's another thing to go, hey, Jalen, do you want to learn? Do you want to grow? Jalen, of all people, has said that week after week after week in 2025. Now they have somebody who I think can push Jalen Hurts to be even better this coming season. And again, imagine a world where the Eagles attack the middle of the field. Or how about a world where the Eagles don't break the huddle with 5 seconds left on the play clock? That drove me nuts. Or even a world where receivers are schemed open to make it easier on the quarterbacks, finding the right guy, hitting them in stride, and yards after catch running with the football. That's the future I'm hoping we're about to see with Sean Mannion in 2026, and I think we're about to get. And while sure, history says that hiring a young quarterback coach from Green Bay with 0 play calling experience has worked out well for the Eagles in the past, Sean Mannion, though, is not Andy Reid. Time will tell. I'm very excited. I'm now shifting my focus to what domino effects are going to happen in the next few weeks to continue making the Eagles' offense even better. For example, we don't technically know the answer to this, but how much autonomy does Sean Mannion have? Does he get to hire brand new people on his coaching staff? Maybe, maybe not. We'll talk about that in a second. But does he have total control of the offense, or is Nick Sirianni going to mingle in there a little bit more than we'd like? Next, what does this mean for A.J. Brown? Did the Eagles consider the effects of finding a guy A.J. Brown likes or an offense that he likes to be an intriguing plus to Sean Mannion? We have to remember, A.J. Brown is still technically an Eagle right now. It's hard, but not impossible to trade him, but it's way easier to make him happy so he stays than shipping him away and eating a ton of dead cap money. And then, of course, there's the news we're going to talk about here in a second. The other follow-on coaching staff changes that are inevitably going to happen when you hire an external outside offensive coordinator. And it sure sounds like we've gotten some moves already, but more are definitely coming to the Birds offensive coaching staff. Just this morning, that first domino did fall as Philadelphia officially hired former Bucs offensive coordinator Josh Grizzard to be their new passing game coordinator in Philadelphia. which, if you remember, Grizzard was a finalist for the Birds' offensive coordinator job. He interviewed twice, like a couple of other candidates, but due to the Bucs' regression this past season, he was not somebody I personally wanted to be the Eagles' offensive coordinator. What I do love, though, is the fact that Philadelphia essentially just hired 2 offensive coordinators who can now pool their collective minds together to help figure out how to get this offense back on track. Plus, the Bucs and Grizzard were not wholly terrible in 2025. We do forget that Baker Mayfield, for example, was top 10 in passing yards, even without Mike Evans. And on the Evans front, or I guess the A.J. Brown front, one thing Grizzard did do very well in Tampa was get the ball to their version of A.J. Brown. Again, Mike Evans. When he was healthy, he was certainly the number 1 receiver, the number 1 target, and they schemed plays to make sure that he touched the football every single drive. Some are saying Philadelphia is building a dream team, sorry to say that, but I saw it on Twitter, of offensive minds and the offensive coaching staff. They're going all in to try to fix this offense. And this is what Jeffrey Lurie virtually promised to us all those weeks ago. Offensive changes were coming, and they're about to completely modernize this offense, I hope, and get away from the Nick Sirianni, very conservative, very boring, no pre-snap motion versions we've seen the past couple of years. And will it work? Honestly, I don't know. But I do know if it's even slightly better than it was in 2025, Philadelphia, with that defense, is going to win a ton of games. It sure sounds like Vegas agrees with me here because before the hiring, Philadelphia was plus 1,500 to win the Super Bowl in 2026, and now they have the 4th best odds of any team in the entire NFL. But if there's one downside, and I've seen the comments on Twitter and in my comment section, it's Thomas. If Nick Sirianni is there, the offense is still going to stink. And the fact they did not fire Nick Sirianni doesn't matter who they hire as the offensive coordinator, which I disagree with because Nick Sirianni has hired 2 offensive coordinators who have gone on to be head coaches and coached in Super Bowls. But I also think this hiring of Mannion will put to bed once and for all exactly what we wanted to know or really have known about Nick Sirianni. Sean Mannion is so different, I'm trying to hammer this home, than Nick Sirianni's scheme in every single way, that if nothing changes with a fresh outside OC this coming season, we'll finally know once and for all who is 100% to blame. And that obviously will result in Philadelphia not winning a Super Bowl, and I think Nick Sirianni being fired this time next year with a brand new regime inevitably coming in. And so I'm pumped. We're literally getting the best of both worlds, right? Going into this coaching search, we all wanted something different. We all wanted something that was, I think, a little risky. I wanted high risk, high reward. I wanted a fresh offensive mind. We're getting that in Sean Mannion. Now, do we technically have 100% surety that it's going to look very, very different? No. But if you go back through Mannion's career, who he's worked under, who he's learned under, and who he's coached under this back couple years in Green Bay, it tells you very clearly it's going to be very, very different. I think Jalen Hurts is somewhere, I hope, smiling about this, because my guess is Mannion could be here at least for 2 seasons, thumbs up for Jalen Hurts, and also can get the most out of Jalen Hurts possible, which is great for Jalen Hurts in general. So I'm pumped. I don't know. Let me know what you guys think down below in the comment section. It's not Matt Nagy. It's not Jim Bob Cooter. Grizzard comes on the staff, but he's not the offensive play caller. No Gerard Johnson. I think this was the best option out of everybody who was available. I'm pumped, and I cannot wait to see how different the Eagles offense looks going into 2026. Now, of course, I did mention in my last video got 270,000 views. I give away this bad boy, the Jordan Spector Art Immortal Collection trading card, which you can actually buy down below. I'll link down below. I got a discount code. But that winner was a subscriber named Miss K Pickles 6279. So Miss K, go down below in my description box. Send me an email. Prove it to you. And for everybody else, I'll give away another one of these if today's video hits 70,000 views. So like, comment down below, and tune into Monday's video, my next video, to see if you won. I'm Thomas Mott. I don't know how you can be mad today. I'm sure people will be in the comment section. I'm pumped. Hopefully you guys are as well. This has been the Thomas Mott Show.